Bears fans, YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Bears Fans Talk Podcast. My name is Johnny CMD. I'm here as always with my co-host and good friend, Kevin, the main event Haggerty.
Let's go.
Kevin, how you doing today?
Really well.
Yeah?
Really well.
Yeah.
It's been a nice little string of a few days here. Got to hang out with you. We got to play basketball.
We have been hanging out quite a bit lately.
Got to play basketball where we took the dub, and then
We did.
we played golf the next day.
Where you took the dub.
Took the dub.
Yeah.
Beat John on 18, parred, and I chipped it in. Was it not impressive?
It was impressive. Do you want me to tell everyone what you shot to
we'll
beat me by 2 strokes?
We'll admit that. Let's just
Okay.
say it's over 100, but less than 120. Use your imagination.
So, Kevin, what I want to talk about today, we're in a little bit of a lull with content. We're going to be pretty much riding things out until.
I disagree.
Do you disagree? Okay.
Did you recently just see where Caleb was this weekend?
Oh, the Cubs game.
The Cubs game.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me that's not news. He went with him, DJ Moore, Cole Clement. Who else?
I feel like I saw Keenan Allen in that picture too. Can't confirm or deny.
Anyways, though, he's coming. He's wearing a Cubs jersey, and he is rocking the house, getting the place going.
I do like to see it.
He is fully embracing Chicago culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's out there. I bet you he's getting Illuminatis every other night out there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm exaggerating, but like, he is leaning into
He is
Chicago culture.
going through 2 bottles of Malort a week. And just
A week?
a week.
No, I'm kidding. Maybe he is, but I hope he's at least tried a shot at this point.
A shot of Malort?
Yeah.
Shot or no shot to steal from ESPN 1000. Caleb Williams has had a shot of Malort
Shot?
in his lifetime. You think so? I
Oh.
don't think so.
Actually,
I don't think so.
So I've been out to Arizona multiple times. Malort's a big thing. Like, a lot of Chicago things are in Arizona.
Yeah.
But you can get Malort almost. It's like a novelty thing now.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's kind of a novelty thing here. It's kind of like when I'm with a group of I think it's something I always pull out when I'm drinking with coworkers.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting some Malort shots.
You're a Chicago handshake, right?
Yeah. I'd only, we learned about that at my wedding.
Is that? Oh,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
right.
So my cousins who were
Yeah.
from
Buffalo.
asked me if I had heard of a Chicago handshake, and I
Sure.
had not. So it is a
Yeah.
it is a shot of Malort and an old style.
PBR.
Are you sure it's old style? Feels more Chicago-y. It could be PBR. They're very similar beers.
Chicago handshake is a drink involving and an old style.
Old style, yeah. Old style is a very classic.
Although also can be subbed for PBR.
They're very, like I said, they're very equivalent. Is old style brewed in Chicago, or is that just made famous because it was the Cubs beer for the longest time?
I just, you can't go to a bar in Chicago unless it's got the old
style sign.
Yeah, the old style. That's I just remember even when I was a kid, I associated
Yeah.
that with, but to me, that just meant that's the sign for,
That's a
since
bar.
I'm 5.
Yeah.
It's weird. They got that's branding at its finest.
And I'm not even sure I've ever had an old style before.
You've definitely had an old style.
Maybe I'll pick up a 6-pack this weekend.
But that's some news, though, is what I'm saying. Caleb ingraining himself in Chicago culture.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's cool he went with DJ Moore. I think it's cool that Cole Clement went.
Mm-hmm.
I bet there's a lot of team building and bonding stuff going on right now.
I certainly hope so.
He's probably getting his place somewhere in Chicago, maybe somewhere in the Trump Towers. Do you remember when Derrick Rose and Patrick...
Oh, it was Kane. I was gonna say Oprah. I
No.
like, wasn't Oprah in Trump Tower? Yeah.
She did the lake. Anyways,
I know what you're saying.
When the Trump Towers was built, they got the 2 penthouses, Derek and Patrick. So
I do remember that.
Caleb is probably looking for a new spot, just fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe him and Connor Bernard will do something like that.
What I've been paying attention to is a lot of the rhetoric around Caleb Williams. Obviously, Chicago is hyped. I've been really appreciating Big Cat's reaction. It's been kind of over the top. I just I see it from time to time on Instagram, where he's just very grandiose, but kind of tongue in cheek, just this is it. This is the time. Life is going to be so awesome from now on, and just being 100%. This is our guy forever.
You got to be that way, though.
Yeah, and people are talking about already expectations for him to be the greatest quarterback in Chicago history, and it seems like an unfair thing to be putting on someone who hasn't played a game yet. Obviously, there's a lot of hype around him, but what we're going to be talking about today is what does it actually take to become the greatest quarterback in Chicago Bears history?
Spoiler alert. It's probably not that much.
Probably not too well. I know for a fact, but you be the judge. You know what it takes to be we couldn't be the greatest quarterback in Chicago history. You put us out there for 5-7 years. I don't think we'd crack that top 10.
I don't think I'd crack a quarter. I don't think I'd crack a series.
So what I want you to do, Kevin, I'm going to give you 1 minute.
Yeah.
I'll give you a second to brace yourself, and I want you to name as many of the top 10 quarterbacks. And don't look at the screen; they're going to be behind you. I want you to name as many of the top 10 quarterbacks in Chicago history. It only counts if they threw passing yardage for the Bears, and we're going by passing yards. It's not touchdowns, not quarterback.
So can I? I'm gonna. Okay. Yeah, I'm not even gonna ask a follow-up question. Okay.
I'll give you.
How many of them are there more recent? Are they more recent or not?
It's all time. It's all time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who the top guy is. I can't remember his name. But
okay. Well, we'll get there. You don't need to say them in order. You just need to 10 as many as you can.
Okay.
All right. 5.
Hey, are you gonna tell me when I hit him?
Yeah, I'll tell you when you hit him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you when you hit him. All right. Wait till we get to an even number here. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Jay Cutler.
That's 1.
Mitch.
2.
I'm gonna go Kyle Orton.
Nope.
I'm gonna go Rex Grossman.
Nope.
Oh man.
Kyle Orton is number 18. Rex Grossman is 15.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Fuck. Why am I blanking now? Oh my gosh. What about Jim Harbaugh?
Jim Harbaugh is on there.
Okay.
He's number 3.
What if I go McMahon?
McMahon is number 4.
Okay. What if I go
25 seconds.
Oh shit. Come on, Cav. Think. This is awful. I'm so embarrassed. What about Fields?
Fields is number 10.
Ooh, yes. Okay. Come on. Who else can I think?
The rest are tough.
Okay, so I got all the easy ones.
You got the ones that people our age would know.
Yeah.
And that is time.
Yeah, I don't know. Who am I missing?
So we'll get there.
Sid Luckman.
Okay, yeah. We'll get Sid Luckman is number 2. We're gonna get there.
Okay.
All right.
So I got all the ones I should have gotten.
I think you got all the ones you should have gotten.
Okay.
All right. I got a little bit of a deck here for you.
Harbaugh was pretty good, right?
Harbaugh's a good fit. Yeah, that was a good snack. I don't think I would have thought of him.
I just remembered him when they were talking about him coming to Chicago. He was a quarterback and one of the leading.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I love a good deck.
So we're gonna go 1 through 10. Bears all-time greats.
This is why we can't do straight podcasts. This is why we got to do the vlog or the video.
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought that the visual element is fun.
So real quick, funny story. Johnny, we do an off-season event for fantasy football, and Johnny made a deck for our off-season event.
Yeah.
And he basically found funny pictures of every single person. and then he puts up his professional LinkedIn photo of being a doctor for his picture.
That was pretty good. I also like because it was our buddy's house. It was like he's got a really nice place. I had like the aerial like real estate shot of the house.
Yeah,
just,
from
talking about the events. So
so I have high expectations for this deck.
I'm a big fan. You ever heard like the people who do like PowerPoint nights where you just pick a PowerPoint of your choosing? Like people get together, have a couple of drinks, and then you just like give a presentation.
I would love that.
I think it'd be fun too.
I would love that.
Maybe sometime with the wives.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be a real fun game.
Bears all-time greats.
I'm excited.
All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about each one. So number 1, Jay Cutler. Not a surprise here. We all remember Jay. I think if you're not a Bears fan, you'd probably be surprised that Jay Cutler, who didn't really have much of a prolific career, is the greatest passing yardage of all time. I think he's touchdowns too.
Yeah, that's a lot of touchdowns actually. 154.
Yeah. So he played in 102 games over the course of, I think that's like 8 seasons.
Yeah.
51 and 51 records, straight even. And that's Jay. I mean,
I was gonna say, where's the interceptions at? Probably 100,
I didn't
154 interceptions.
I didn't write them down. I'm sure it's over 100. I'm sure it's close. And you know what? I think the reason why I liked Jay so much, and like this is kind of like in like the hay of my 20s.
Yeah.
And I guess into the 30s, no 20s. But he was like a quarterback on this list that was around probably some of the longest. So I think that's probably what ingratiated him to me a little bit more. So Jay Cutler, number 1 overall. Number 2, who you did not get.
Hey, and 109 interceptions.
109 interceptions? Yeah. Not bad. Okay. Sid Luckman.
That's gonna be tough.
From 1939 to 1950. He is our number 2. He was the Bears' top passer for what is that, like 60, 70 years?
That was actually in the heart of World War II as well,
Yeah.
in case you were wondering.
Yeah. So people are dying in war.
Instead of killing Nazis, he's slinging touchdowns.
He's slinging touchdowns and still number 2 all time in the Bears list. They didn't give me a record for him. They didn't tell me what his record was, but he threw 137 touchdowns, which I believe is also number 2.
Sid Luckman.
All right. And then number 3, Jim Harbaugh.
Nice.
Best picture I could find.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. With 11, it's a big drop off here. Well, between Jay and Sid. So
different eras.
23,
different
yeah,
eras.
Yeah, and then we got it down under 12,000 yards.
Only
That's
50 touchdowns.
50 touchdowns.
It's ugly.
And a 35-30 record. Not too bad.
That's literally like one Tom Brady season.
So Jim came in after like the end of the Bears won that Super Bowl in '85. He comes in '87, and kind of the decline of the Bears was probably happening about that time. But he was 35-30, not too bad.
Okay.
So good for you, Jim. All right. Yeah. Then we got other Jim McMahon.
Nice.
Probably the quarterback that the Bears fans think of as being the quintessential quarterback. Only number 4 on this list.
Yeah.
Only throwing for 11,000 yards. Only playing for like 6 or 7 seasons. But look at this record: 46-15.
Yeah, I mean that's because that near an undefeated season besides Miami.
And every time I look at a picture of Jim Harbaugh, he just kind of looks like an '80s villain.
McMahon, you mean?
Or no, Jim McMahon. Yeah, he just kind of looks like an '80s villain.
Looks like he did a lot of coke.
He probably did.
I know he did.
The Punky QB man.
Yeah, I did.
So number 4, Jim McMahon. Number 5, Money Mitch. Number 5 is Mitchell Trubisky, who no one is ever going to look at Mitch Trubisky. That is the 5th best quarterback in Bears history. They're going to be like, that is the biggest mistake the Bears have ever made.
Here's what I'm going to say though, Johnny. Look, different eras of football. The way we throw the ball today is completely different than how we threw the ball in the 80s.
Yeah.
The 90s.
Yeah.
The early 2000s.
Yeah. So what's your point?
That any new quarterback is going to have gaudy numbers.
Well, it's funny you say that because you're going to need to look at the rest of this list. So,
but hang on, is objectively 10,000 yards passing to be the 5th all-time passer for an entire franchise, one of the oldest, deepest rooted history franchises.
It's a ridiculously low number.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
It's a crazy low number.
So to have a guy come in and play for 3 years and throw 10,000 yards, that's pedestrian.
Yeah.
That's mediocre.
But Mitch, you know what? 29-21 record. He made a Pro Bowl.
I remember.
He was an MVP. Nickelodeon valuable player, whatever that was.
No. Yeah, was it MVP?
MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon most valuable.
It was Nickelodeon something. Yeah.
He got slimed.
Yeah.
I remember.
Did he get slimed?
Yeah. He actually threw for 6 touchdown passes one day.
Nice.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Fantasy King.
Number 6. Here's where we're really scratching. Eric Kramer.
That would have been tough.
The first person on this list with a losing record for the Bears at 18-28. All hovering around about the same 10,582 yards. And he played from 94 to 98. I've heard this name.
Yeah.
This is obviously squarely in Bulls territory.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're probably just starting to form memories at this point.
Yeah.
And most of them are around Michael Jordan. So that's
Sure.
Eric Kramer. Don't know anything about him. Don't really care.
Yeah.
Number 7, Billy Wade.
Wasn't getting that one.
61-66.
Sure.
Threw just under 10,000 yards. Had a 27-20-2 record.
Yeah.
And this guy, I'm guessing this picture was probably taken in his early 20s. He looks solidly 45 years old here.
Yeah, hang on. Give me one quick second here, because I have a weird feeling that hang on. America.
What?
When was the Vietnam War for America?
I want to say it started in the late 50s, but it went on until the 70s.
Yeah, but when did we actually have the drafts and stuff? Because I feel like
it was around this era.
I was gonna say I feel like it's right there.
He could have been drafted.
It's the second guy who's war era.
Wartime,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's.
But Sid Luckman obviously didn't get drafted. He played for 12 years. And then we got Ed Brown.
Sure, of course. The classic Ed Brown.
From 1954 to 1961. Look at this off-platform pass.
Wow.
Caleb Williams got nothing on this.
I say Patrick Mahomes before Patrick Mahomes.
Isn't Patrick Mahomes also 15?
He is.
Yeah,
that is accurate.
63 touchdowns, 39-25-2 record. He was a winning quarterback.
No wartime, by the way, 1954 to 61.
Well, no, like I said, I think Vietnam started in 59, but the probably drafts hadn't happened at this point. All right. Number 9, Bob Avellini.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Classic.
Interesting about Bob Avellini is his time kind of overlaps with Jim McMahon. He played for the Bears for what looks like 10 years, but only started, 50 games? So this is a backup quarterback who's number 9 on our list. 7,111 yards with the Bears.
It's a good picture of him, though.
It's pretty good. And it's cut out here. Hand the ball off to Walter Payton.
Yeah.
That's all he had to do. Yeah.
Exists in the 3 seconds between taking the snap and handing the ball off to Walter Payton.
And number 10.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, a.k.a. JF1, a.k.a. him, a.k.a. QB1. Threw for 6,674 career yards with the Bears, 40 touchdowns, 10-28 record. Oh, and I this is wrong, obviously.
Wow, those are some good dates.
Yeah.
He definitely wasn't even born yet.
So Justin Fields.
Yep.
As our number 10 overall, Mitch Trubisky. So, I mean, honestly, people can laugh at, the Bears' recent draft picks. Our last 2 quarterbacks we drafted cracked the top 10 in our all-time best quarterback list.
And I think part of that has to do also 30 picks on that. And that record's just really ugly.
Yes.
But, I feel like part of that just has to do with just the Bears never really finding themselves like a legitimate stable franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
And the function that Mitch and Justin are still on these top tier just shows they're desperate.
Yeah.
Like, how desperate are you? And I feel like
Is it the quarterback's fault or is it the Bears' fault?
So most franchises, unless you have yourselves, a Patrick Mahomes or even Tua, right? But teams like the Giants, right? Mm-hmm. They've been floundering around since Eli left, and Eli wasn't all that great. Yes, he won 2 Super Bowls, okay, and he beat Tom, okay. So taking nothing away from. Speaking of which, the roast, which we can talk about separately, but. They've been the Giants have been struggling to find a quarterback. And they gave Daniel Jones that $70 or $90 million, whatever it is. People are desperate for a quarterback.
You got to find your guy. You got to be this is something we've got our quarterback, we've got our leader, and let's ball out from there.
That's why everyone's so excited about Caleb Williams because Deion Sanders said this: look good, feel good, play good, get paid. Mm-hmm. And I love that, right? Mm-hmm. And it starts from within, and it starts from the city fully embracing Caleb and who he wants to be.
So, to go back to my original point of doing this, what does it take for Caleb Williams to be the greatest quarterback in Chicago Bears history?
Have a good rookie, have first 5 years to be where he should. Let me see Jay's numbers again.
So Jay ended up with 23,400.
That's gonna be hard to crack in 5 years.
Yes. But here's a couple of numbers I want to throw out here. And, I'm just going to talk about Gardner Minshew, obviously not a Chicago Bear, and I'm not trying to put any evil on him, but just as an idea of what an average quarterback is, he was the 18th best quarterback in terms of passing yards in 2023. He threw for, I believe it was 3,305 yards with 15 touchdowns.
So why do you have him as the Eagles picture? He was a Colt last year.
I just like that one.
And why was he a Colt?
He was a Colt because he got released and then drafted. And why did he play as a Colt? Because Anthony Richardson got hurt.
I just want to make sure.
So not even a full season.
Exactly. That's part of the reason.
And didn't come even as a starter.
Nope.
And he was the 18th best quarterback, fine, serviceable. Everybody likes Gardner. Yeah. This is how many yards he threw for. Yeah. So let's just say Caleb Williams has a handful of Gardner Minshew-esque seasons, average, even a little bit below average. What would it take? How many seasons would it take for him to become the best quarterback in Bears history? So we're gonna actually break that down here a little bit. If he averages Gardner Minshew numbers with the Bears for his career, he will surpass Justin Fields in about 2 seasons. About a season, 2 seasons in a game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm loving this diamond football.
Yeah. Mitch Trubisky in about 55 games.
Okay.
Jim Harbaugh in 58 games. Mm-hmm. Sid Luckman in 75 games. It's about 4.5 seasons. So that's a rookie contract with an extension, and then he's our number 2 guy, playing like Gardner Minshew. Mm-hmm. And then Jay Cutler with averaging 33,000 yards a game, which we're hoping for much more from Caleb. It'll take him about 7 seasons. So we'd have to renew him. Yeah. All right, but the bar's pretty low. That's all I gotta say. Bar's pretty low.
For this man to be considered but here's the greatest thing is that's the deck.
That's the deck. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do what I can.
The only thing if you could do is please fix the Justin Fields dates.
It's been deleted. I didn't save it. It's gone forever. So please enjoy. All right. So
here's what I'm gonna say though about about the Caleb thing and him being able to come in and break those records. The bar is set so low.
Mm-hmm.
And if he does come in and like we're embracing him right now, if he comes in and he has Gardner Minshew type of numbers, I think the city would embrace him like a king.
I don't think that.
You think he needs to put up 4,000 yards?
I think he's got
rookie year.
I think he's got to be better than the 18th best quarter. I think this year he could be fine. I think if he puts up,
That's what I'm saying.
if he puts up Gardner Minshew numbers this year, and the Bears or have a winning record, then I think everyone's going to be completely satisfied. But I don't think if he puts up Gardner Minshew numbers through the duration of his rookie contract, that he's going to get re-signed.
CJ Stroud put up 4,100 yards last year.
Yes.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
for
that is an unreasonable expectation for Caleb Williams. But maybe it's not. He's got more weapons.
How about this? Bryce Young threw for almost 2,900 yards. Can he do that?
Yes, he should.
He has to be
has
Bryce.
to.
He has to.
Yes.
Like without question. Bryce Young paid 16 games.
Especially because we could have gotten Bryce Young.
I know. That would be I'm literally in my head. I'm like, oh no. I hope I didn't put that out there. But you think about it this way. He played 16 games, threw for almost 2,900 yards. That comes up to about 180 yards per game. That's not a lot of yards.
It's Justin Fields numbers.
It's
a little bit worse.
Exactly.
A little bit better.
I think he'd throw more or less than 11 touchdowns. More or less.
Oh, more than less than 100 touchdowns?
11.
Healthy?
11 touchdowns.
Way more.
Yeah.
Yes.
CJ Stroud threw 23 last year.
Oh, wow. That's actually pretty good.
That's
Not
really
bad.
good.
Yeah.
And here's the good one. How about interceptions? CJ only threw 5.
I could see if Caleb Williams has struggles in his rookie year, I could see it being like a taking care of the ball, fumbles, interceptions, trying to fit gaps that he shouldn't.
I think CJ Stroud's a great one. How about this? Over under 4,100 yards passing for Caleb.
This year?
Yeah.
I'm going to say under.
Over under 23 touchdowns this year passing.
I'm going to say over. I can say over in that.
I think that's the over. Over under interceptions 5.
Over. Much over.
I agree with all of yours.
Yeah.
The only one though was yardage. Could get very close.
4,100 would be the greatest season a Bears quarterback has ever had. By about 400, 500 yards.
That'd be great.
No, I think Jay got like 3,900 one year or something like that. And Jay didn't quite crack 4,000, but that would be the best season. And then for a rookie to do it, I think we got to expect there's going to be some growing pains.
Yeah.
The other point that I want to talk about, we're hearing a lot about, number one overall quarterbacks are busts or they're unreliable. And the Justin Fields believers, back months ago were saying, let's just try and get some depth. Let's try and find that diamond in the rough. Let's try and find that Patrick Mahomes, that Aaron Rodgers, that things like that. Get the diamonds in like the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. So trade away the number one overall pick that they say is always a bust, and then kind of going from there. So I have the list on Wikipedia of all the first overall picks. So I just want to go through this list a little bit, and then I actually found like a really interesting Twitter thread of some guy who really went into the numbers here. So Caleb Williams obviously this year, Bryce Young last year, jury's still out. I think jury's still out on Trevor Lawrence, but he made a Pro Bowl in 2022. That's the number one overall pick. Joe Burrow, Pro Bowl 2022. Kyler Murray, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Pro Bowl 2020 and 2021. Baker Mayfield obviously just had a great resurgence season, not with the Browns, but that's not really his fault. He made the Pro Bowl in 2023. Got Jared Goff, 3-time Pro Bowler. Jameis Winston, Pro Bowler. Obviously, James has got some problems, but Andrew Luck, 4-time Pro Bowler, cut his career a little bit short. Cam Newton.
Did he? I forgot.
A little bit, yeah. Cam Newton, Offensive Rookie of the Year, NFL MVP, 3-time Pro Bowler. That's one pick. Sam Bradford, probably the first bad one that we have on this list, but he was still Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Not only the first bad one, Sam Bradford was the last one to not be structured under rookie contracts.
What do you mean by that?
So before Sam Bradford was the last draft class that you actually negotiated your contract when you were drafted.
Yeah.
And you got guaranteed money.
Mm-hmm.
After Sam Bradford was the last year, then they started having these caps put in place. Yeah. So like Sam Bradford got
Did he get paid?
He got like a $93 million deal.
Really?
And he sicked.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I actually did not know that.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't?
I mean, that's 14 years ago. Matt Stafford, the year before him, obviously great career, two Pro Bowls, a Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, baby.
Jamarcus Russell, it was the quintessential flop in 2007, never did anything with the Raiders. Alex Smith, Some people might see him as somewhat of a flop, but he made 3 Pro Bowls. He had some great seasons. Eli Manning, don't need to say anything about him. Carson Palmer, 3-time Pro Bowler. That's just what I'm saying is, there are some flops. More often than not, it seems like the number 1 overall pick quarterbacks are winners. All right? Do you have thoughts about that?
The probability of him being a better than not quarterback it's greater at the number 1 pick than it's not. Do they come with more scrutiny? Yes, and that's why you're gonna remember the Sam Bradfords, the Jamarcus Russells out of them, right? But overall, though, I think it works more than it doesn't.
And I found an interesting thread while I was researching this. So shout out to this Dave Klug guy. He said he poured over the last 30 years of first-round quarterback data and found that drafting a number 1 overall quarterback gives teams overwhelmingly better odds at finding success for their franchise. My gut told me all top 10 pick quarterbacks are the same, but the data painted a very different picture. So basically, he chose 5 benchmarks: 4,000 yards passing in a season, 30 touchdowns in a season, 80-plus career starts, winning a playoff game, and making a Pro Bowl. Quarterbacks drafted number 1 overall, 20 of them in the last 30 years, had the benchmarks. 70% of them threw for 4,000 yards. No Bears quarterback has ever thrown for 4,000 yards. Yeah. 30-plus touchdowns. I don't know the answer to that, but 45% have done that. 81% of them had long careers, 80 starts. So basically, Caleb Williams, he means 77 games. Or no, what was it, 7.7? So basically, long careers. Most of them win a playoff game. Most of them make a Pro Bowl. And to kind of...
Tim Couch.
Yeah, and talk about obviously the bad ones. Tim Couch, David Carr. 8 of the 16 eligible quarterbacks on his list hit every one of those marks, all 5 of those criterias.
Huh.
So we're still waiting on some. Yeah, I mean, obviously some of them are still pretty early on in their careers. So they might not have gotten there yet. But looking at the quarterbacks drafted 2 to 32, 63 of them total, the hit rate plummets. Only 25% have throw for a 4,000-yard season. Only 24% throw for 30 touchdowns. Only about a third of them start 80-plus games. Only about a third of them win a playoff game. Only about a third of them win a Pro Bowl.
I would like to see these number. I see what he's trying to do. Oh, here we go.
You'd think trimming it down to top 10 and top 5 picks help, but it doesn't.
I'd love to see bands.
Picks 2 through 10, 34 quarterbacks. Less than a third of them throw for 4,000 yards. About a quarter of them throw for 30 touchdowns. 41%, 80-plus starts. About half win a playoff game. Okay. About 2/3 make a Pro Bowl.
And you know who's included within that, the top 10 and top 5?
Mitch Trubisky and Justin Fields.
Yeah. Not helping.
And none of them have done this. I think Justin, you know what? Mitch might be approaching 80 starts, and he did make a Pro Bowl. He did make a Pro Bowl. So we'll say that. And he did not win a playoff game. He played in a playoff game.
The Bears don't win playoff games.
So basically, taking a number 1 overall, 2.7 times greater chance of having a 4,000-yard passer, 2 times greater chance of having 30-plus touchdowns, 2.1 80-plus starts, but really the most important thing is playoff wins. You double your odds.
Yeah.
So the Bears deciding to take a number 1 overall pick doubled their odds as if they decided to go for someone like Drake May statistically, or Jaden Daniels, or anyone else in that top 10.
So first, hats off to this Dave guy.
Let's hope all this is true.
Is it Jay Cutler apologist?
Yeah, it's actually interesting. I don't know how. That's just a kind of a coincidence, but yeah, obviously a fan of Jay.
Thank you for crunching the numbers,
Dave. If you want to get on the podcast,
give me your source, aka AI. If I were you, I hope.
How many followers does this guy have?
More than us.
Only 970. Maybe. Oh no, he's following 970. He's got 58,000. Okay. All right, Dave, you're probably too big for us, but if you decide you want to be on the podcast, you know where to find us. Our people will talk to your people.
Oh man, he's a football guy.
Yeah. So
it's good. Those are some good numbers.
I think these are all things to be excited about. I think that we are going to very quickly, if Caleb Williams is who we think he should be, we'll see him jump up this list of top 10 quarterbacks.
It's not hard.
But it'll be fun to see.
It's going to be exciting, and I think another cool thing is before they even draft, like the whole thing, I think you remembered you posed the question, or Jeff posed the question, what would it take to get a Caleb jersey?
Yeah.
And what was both our responses?
I'd be drafted by the Chicago Bears.
And we both bought Caleb jerseys already. I think we are behind him.
Yes,
1,000,000%.
Well, here's the thing: is like there's I understand the thinking of, and I think I definitely felt this way. Is like before I buy your jersey, before I'm gonna like put your name on my back, you got to do something for me. But at the same time,
you brought me so much hope. I just want to have fun.
There's that too, and it's just like we're putting our money where our mouth is. We've been hyping it up for us to just be like, okay, we want Justin Fields out, we want Caleb Williams in, but then he comes like, well, I'm not going to buy your jersey until you prove yourself to me. I think we're putting our money where our mouth is.
Not only that, but like the anticipation. Like I was talking to someone else about this. I am so excited for this football season, but like chronologically, I can't get through this football season to start. That means summer's coming to a close, and I have to skip summer. And I'm not willing to give up summer, right? Because I'm very excited for the summer just to like enjoy it and all that stuff, right? But like I am so excited for the fall.
Well, that's what's great about like summer ending is now you got football at least to look forward to.
Well, exactly. So my thing is the reason I'm buying this jersey though is because I want to be hyped all summer long for Caleb. And he doesn't have to take a snap. He doesn't have to do anything. I just want to be in on it.
I'm trying to find like a countdown, but not really.
Kickoff right there. So
I know, yeah, but it didn't seem to work. Okay, what was the date? Okay, everything is just like a Figs ad. September 7th. How many days until September 7th? September 7th. And that's just the start. So 120, that's actually a long time. Feels like a long time. It's about 4 months still. And we'll be here every single week along the way, Bears fans. Kevin, I think that's about all I got to say. Any parting words, thoughts? Pearls of wisdom to leave our viewers on before they go a long week without hearing from us again?
I sent you some Instagrams. Were any of them worth? Oh, the whole Justin Fields returning kicks.
Yeah.
I think that's just coach talk, coach speak.
Was it reliable source?
Hang on. Do you remember when they're like when Ja'Marr Chase Ja'Marr Chase can't catch the ball because it doesn't have the white lines on it?
Yeah.
It's just coach speak. I thought it was funny. I think it's interesting. A bunch of players from that draft class did not get their fifth options picked up.
Yeah.
Najee Harris, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, Kadarius Toney, Mac Jones. That may go down as one of the worst draft classes of all time.
That's true.
I thought that was an interesting news. Caitlin Clark had her first preseason game. Balled the fuck out. Yeah. Let's go Indiana Fever.
And I'm following the Chicago Sky on Instagram now too.
Yep.
And it's such a like a turnaround for me just because I was a guy who was definitely making fun of women's basketball 5 years ago. Unfortunately, and something about it, I'm just invested now. And it's also pretty crazy though. Like the draft was like, it feels like 10 days ago.
Pretty cool, right?
And the season ended probably about a month ago.
Pretty cool.
It's a tough turnaround. I feel for those girls who went deep and now they're running playoff games and I feel it's a tough turnaround. It's got to be tough on the body.
All I'm gonna say, John, like you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
Like.
Yes.
And like tough on the body, sure, but like at the same time, like some of these guys, especially the NBA, I'm not going to point some fingers, but maybe in the major metropolitan area just to the north with a guy who's from Greece. Like, bro, it's an elimination game. Fucking play.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, like, there's no excuse for some of these NBA players. Load management. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean,
Kobe was playing with like he was shooting free throws with a torn Achilles. And I'm not one to I'm just saying.
I mean, you're protecting your assets. I understand that. And, to say you're doing something that you love, at the end of the day, it's still the job. Like, I'm sure you still have some joy in playing sports every single day, but at the same time, it's just like, it's still a grind. It's a grind the way that we get up and go to work every single day. I'm sure they feel it sometimes. I think, the comparison can be made. You got to get up, you got to go to the gym, you got to do stuff that you don't want to do. It's tiring. Not quite the same, but I think it's naive for us to just say as fans being like,
fine,
you're getting paid to play a game. Like, just play the game. You should be having fun.
And I'm not trying to be criticism. I think it's cool. I think they're capitalizing on the positive momentum that they have, and go Indiana Fever.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check out a couple of games. I mean, if I happen to be off when the Fever are in town, I might pay whatever $400 it will take to see Caitlin Clark.
I'm not committing to that.
We'll see.
Just like you committed to the.
But I'm hyped for Cardoso and Reese too, so I'll go see a Sky game.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'd see a regular Sky game.
Yeah.
Because it's by your work, isn't it? You pass Penn
No,
State.
no, it's not. We talked about this. It's not Allstate Arena.
It's not Allstate Arena. It's on the way on 90. I thought it's on.
That's
90.
Allstate Arena, man. That's not where the Sky play.
Yeah.
Tara, didn't we just talk about this? Where is
They
it?
play at the Wintrust Arena.
Which is where?
It's like sort of.
It's like in the South Loop. Yeah. It's in the South
Oh,
Loop.
is that the new? That's new DePaul Stadium.
Yes.
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 They used to play off 90, not at the Allstate Arena.
The last time we had this conversation, which was at least a year or two ago, you said the same thing and you were wrong then too.
I did see them at the airport.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, my wife is behind the camera. She actually saw when she was getting off her commercial flight, the Sky getting off a flight.
The commercial flight.
So yes, confirmed that the women's basketball do not fly private.
I am not surprised.
What are you looking up right now?
I want to see where they played.
I think I've heard.
Kevin Haggerty doesn't trust me.
No, before this they played somewhere else. I'm telling you, they did play somewhere else. It's fine because Marcus used to go to the games. I'm telling you.
Is it fine? Is it fine, Kev?
I'll figure it out. It's fine.
We're really ending this with a bang. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really means a lot to us. We got a couple of great comments in the last couple of videos and some helpful critiques.
Yeah,
And
I thought it was a very helpful.
I think we're gonna take it to heart. If we ever figure out how to get our act together as a production.
Yeah,
but we're working on it. Hopefully before the season starts. We got 124 days.
124 days, and I'd like to get the numbers up. And I know there's some positive momentum amongst the group. So appreciate the love and the support.
Absolutely. All right, Kevin, that's all I got.
That's all I got. Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Okay, I gotta figure this out now.